Hey y'all, welcome back to my Devlog series, where I'm making a pickpocketing mobile game in Unity. In this video, I'm going to be going over some more progress I made on the game. The three main things I decided to tackle during this video is I wanted to add more variety to the buildings, more variety to the civilians, and more variety to the cars. And those are the main three things I decided to tackle during this fourth devlog. But before I even got started with that, I realized that for the longest time I didn't actually have a game title. Like, this game title has been bugging me for the longest time, so I decided to actually name my game. And after going back and forth between a bunch of potential different names, I landed on Purse Pursuit. And I went ahead and changed the game title to Purse Pursuit. I hopped right back into Blender, and this one building is not gonna cut it. So I decided to model a few more buildings. I've gone ahead and made a bunch of buildings. I want to have about 20 different buildings in total to just increase the variety of the game overall, so that the player doesn't feel like they're just walking past the same building over and over, and that's very important so that the game actually looks nice. After that, I decided to continue modeling, but this time I'm going to start working on cars. And here are the final cars I came up with. I came up with 7 regular cars, and I also decided to model a police car. I'm thinking I might need that later if I want to, after I arrest the player, I might show a police car somewhere along the lines. But I'm not sure if I'm going to use it, but if I need it, it's right there. So what I've decided to do with these cars is I'm going to give them each a random color while they're spawned into the game. So I've set its material to white right here in Blender, but in Unity I'm going to code it so that it's going to randomly select a color from an array, and it's going to set that color as the car's color. But the window and the wheel color is going to stay the same, but just the body of the car is going to have a randomly selected color. So I'm just going to have to select all the faces in Blender that have the body of the car that I want to change the color of for all these cars, and I'm going to be able to do that, randomly select a color in Unity. And right after I did that, I decided, let me model a few more buildings because I don't feel like what I have is enough. So let me just continue modeling a few more buildings. And yeah, what I have right now looks pretty good. So now I'm done with all the buildings. I'm satisfied with all these few buildings in Blender. So now I'm going to import them into Unity. And I want to test the random buildings in the game. So now the buildings are spawning and the cars are spawning as well. So now it's time for me to work on something new. The people that we steal from are 3 different characters, and they keep repeating over and over. I'm getting tired of seeing them, and I'm realizing that if I'm getting tired of seeing them, and I've only played the game not that many times, I'm imagining someone who plays the game over and over is probably gonna get super tired of them. So I'm gonna create 1 man civilian and 1 female civilian, but I'm gonna do the same thing I've did with the cars and buildings. I'm gonna separate each face into different colors so that when a man or a woman civilian is spawned, randomly generated color palette. So it's gonna get the shirt maybe blue, we're gonna have the pants red, and the shoes green. So all that is gonna be randomly generated for our civilians. And I'm also gonna give them each different hairstyles. I'm also gonna have the ability for the man to have like a suit on or some glasses, and I'm also gonna give skirts and dresses for the woman as well, and also have the ability for the woman to have glasses. So all these are going to be the different variety possibilities for our civilians, for the civilians in the game. And I'm just going to be able to randomly generate cool looking civilians by the way I'm modeling the character in Blender. So now I'm going to throw the civilians into the game, and I have to do some more scripting so that I can actually randomly generate some different and unique looking civilians. So now the actual game had a big revamp. Everything looks cool and updated. The buildings are new and they look randomly generated. The cars look good as well, and the civilians. The biggest problem now is the UI. The UI looks like, I'm not gonna lie, like it's a bunch of prototype buttons. So I'm going to go into Inkscape and I'm gonna create some vector art for some new UI elements. But before I go into Inkscape, I can actually create a play button and a still button, and I'm just gonna have it be regular text. So this is the play button and here's the still button. This is how our player is gonna play the game and steal money from civilians. And in Inkscape, what I created was a shop button, a settings button, and a back button. And I also decided to redo the time left user interface, and I also redid the multiplier user interface. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Please smash that subscribe button so you don't miss the next devlog, and also please like the video if you did enjoy it. If you do like it, it's really gonna help the channel and help the video get bigger, and of course get more eyes on the game. Stay tuned for the next devlog where I'm gonna be adding power-ups into the game. So I'm gonna see you in that one. Peace.